Good evening, Mohini Didi.
I start missing hearing my name. So I was telling, like, call me Mohini Didi, so at least I hear my name.
I agree. I agree.
I
Mohini
keep
should come
saying,
first.
Didi, Didi. I said, well, what happened to my name? It's beautiful
Yeah,
name.
there's too
And
many Didis. I like that. Yes, Mohini Didi.
then
That sounds right. That
this
sounds right.
morning I had call with Canadian family, and Eric keeps saying, Mohini Didi. I said, look, sounds very sweet. My own name
Yeah,
I'm hearing.
yes. I'm
Right.
in agreement.
You
Yeah.
are? That's good.
Oh,
Thank you.
absolutely. Yes, I like that. So many things, but just to very quickly, because someone asked the question, and I thought, let me hear your take on it from the Murli today when Baba spoke about Satupradhan corruption. It seems like as if the two things, but I know you have a succinct answer.
We heard in that Murli. Sato Pradhan correction, because someone from Trinidad also wrote me this question. So what was it? Because everything, whatever duality, conflict, whatever began is from corporates, even bhakti, right? And there is gradual decline from Rajo to Tamo, Tamo to Tamo Pradhan.
Right.
So same is like adulteration. There was a time that not a drop of water will be mixed in the milk, right?
Right.
And then now is like half water, half milk. So every adulteration, corruption, and frauds. Now you have to, at every step, be so careful that is it real, is it honest, is it truthful, or is it... So when Baba said Sato Pradhan and Tamo Pradhan, corruption is with the time, now is end of Iron Age. So everything is in climax, everything. Those who lie, they are so natural in lying, right? When we say, oh, you tell lies, really? No, it's their way of thinking has become like that. Or stealing,
Yeah.
was saying that some people are living just on breaking laws, just on breaking, things, and so that they can get whatever they have to get. Their living is on frauds now. Before, like, they would have done one or two, but now that's their main job anyway. So it has reached to Sato Pradhan, then Rajo Pradhan, then Tamo Pradhan corruption.
Right. Yeah, Baba talks about it in terms of the vices. But to back up to just pre the golden age and the whole thing of dancing, have you ever danced in trance?
I used to dance in trance all the time.
Oh, please. I've seen you. I've had the great fortune of seeing you dance, and you are a fantastic dancer.
No,
but not in trance. I haven't seen you dance in trance. So what was that experience?
That dance in Florida, all that is when nighttime you all are together. So we dance, right? But originally, first time when I went trance, so I'm seeing Sri Krishna. So I'm giving hands and I'm dancing. And I was invited to offer bhog. Those days, bhog used to be offered during noontime because mothers could come. Right. So they will invite me at different center only to do Ras, no? They call it Ras Leela. So all the time what I danced, or we all, I think, was in trance. It was never dance as, dance as other dancers. It was always, and then the moments were like Ras, no? We call it Ras Leela. Very sweetly, gently, and, in a very completely different way. Yeah, that you haven't seen because you came little late, right?
But yeah, 46 years ago, that's late.
Yeah, but actually, yeah, always I dance was in trance.
Amazing.
Sometimes it used to be 20 minutes, half an hour. even 1 hour, and then everyone, all mothers, there are no brothers at that time much
Right,
during
right.
day. So like I will be called in Rajouri Gardens, different centers in Delhi come and offer bhog. So it's not just offering bhog, but it was for Ras Leela.
But when you were seeing Krishna, it wasn't that you were seeing Krishna in one of the other sisters or something. This was just in your own subtle
Yeah,
experience.
not in anyone. It's
Yeah.
original one.
That was the feeling too. This whole exercise on the golden age, we did it a couple of years ago, and I was looking through my notes, and one of them was pertaining to that, and how that everyone was dancing, that it felt like as if we were the living orchestra, but each one had their own unique note, their own unique chord. And it was as if, the whole world, if you were singing, the whole world was singing. And it sometimes makes me think that the golden age is a bit like Disney World. I wonder if Walt Disney had been to the golden age, because that joy and exuberance and everything, and even the image of children, and the children dressed. I mean, the fabrics in India, even today in Kaliyug, are incredible, but at that time, and so the feeling that the children were dressed in exactly the same colors as the flowers, so that when they were playing hide and seek, they would be much harder to find, that everything blended so beautifully. So this thing of, and also the feeling that although I may not have had Krishna or Lakshmi, Narayan in front of me, but you were always aware of them, of their almost like parents taking the caretakers of the whole kingdom. And that you didn't, they didn't even need to have special crowns. It was their vibrations. And this is what I wanted to get to, is this thing of, you see, it's easy for me to see you up there with the first Narayan and Lakshmi, that their communication, they will have special communication with special souls. I remember when Didi left the body, and that Murli and Baba said about, if any of you had any sorrow, that vibration will not reach a soul of that caliber, but for the whole cycle, souls of that caliber, your friends, your family will all be, of that same caliber, like very, very high vibration. And so it's like there'll be a communication, just like you must know in the confluence age, is equal, that it's not that they don't talk to anybody else, but that there'll be something. Can you maybe elaborate on that?
That is why Baba keep mentioning about royal family. When Baba talks about royalty, so there won't be any difference, because everyone is divine, everyone is royal, everyone is sweet, everyone is respectful, everyone is appreciative of each other. So these were like very common virtues within the family. So that's why Baba says, okay, don't think of your status, but at least come in royal family. Have that royalty in you. Sometimes he talks royalty of purity. Sometimes he talks about even when you are speaking, there has to be royalty when you talk to others. So all different kinds of personality, royalty in personality, so that when we are so you live amongst equals. And then even if there are some who are, visiting or communicating or meeting because of something or other, will have similar qualities, maybe not that much royalty, but will have similar quality. But also when you were talking about dress of children, if you look at the flowers, colors of flowers, design of the clouds or greenery, I mean, every design, whether it's on material or anything, is created from there, right? From the nature. So just
Yeah.
imagine in golden age when you have everything beautiful. So the material which they create, no, for making textile or carpets or anything will be kind of resembling, almost same like the nature, very beautiful. Because from where they bring colors, from nature, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
From where whole idea of pink came, was pink flower or something. We gave name pink maybe. So how the nature, because bodies are made from that beautiful nature elements also. So that's why there is beauty. You don't need to have, they say different names for makeup because I don't ever done it. But what they call it, which everyone uses, foundation.
Foundation.
I didn't. Recently, somebody had been telling me, "You see this one." I say, "What is foundation?" I haven't seen foundation, but I am hearing foundation. So you don't need in golden age because you have everything pink and very beautiful. Everything will be beautiful. Body will be beautiful too.
We
So
won't need foundation because we did the foundation course, right?
not only course but foundation of life too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So everything will be natural, beautiful, very sweet. And so keep aim, we could be together as royal family, right?
Yeah, but this thing of communication that's the feeling was uh, at that time that I will only catch the thought that is meant for me, that I won't think about anybody else's thoughts or whatever, that there'll be such cleanliness in the communication. There'll be no, what's the word, static or anything else, that the communication will be so fluid. And of course, those rulers would never give anyone the feeling that they were anything less. And the small ones, just like sometimes we were with the daddies, we never felt we were anything less. And then there's the realization, yeah, there is a difference. There is a difference.
Mm.
So that thing of and this is, maybe it's a useless kind of a question, but I was thinking about it the other day. In terms of evolution, they think that we have, taken on extra parts or whatever. But I think there must be some things that we have lost since the beginning of the Golden Age, and not just a question of virtues, but that our eyesight and our hearing, because if you think about the rest of nature, they have facilities like you were mentioning, the materials. What I understand is that a bee, for example, will not see a flower the same way that we will, that it has another kind of vision and it sees the patterns in the flower. It knows exactly where to find the nectar in the same way, like how intuitive animals are when there's a storm coming, or they can hear in a better way than we can. I wonder if we ever had those intense senses as well, or did they only come into being for
we
some
we
other
have
reason?
we have all the senses, right? So we can
Mm,
sense. But in animals, some of those are missing. So somewhere it compensates. They say even
mm,
if somebody cannot hear properly or see properly, but
yeah,
other
that's right.
instincts will compensate it and they do it better or they are
Yeah,
able to complete it. But because our all senses are working so well, so we don't need that kind of capacity. But
yeah.
when it is something is missing, then somewhere that capacity emerges also. No?
And now I'm going to, this is a question I've had from last week when I was in Peace Village and we were together with all the instruments, and someone had brought up the fact of the sort of the difference, as in my day, and in fact most of the centers abroad, that it was all well, we weren't double foreigners because we were in our own countries. We weren't the foreigners, but there was less Indians and there was more, whatever it was, Europe or South America, wherever. And what I'm curious about is, just before leaving Madhavan, what was the brief you were given? Was it Didi who sent you? And when you were going, was it with the thought of the Indian people abroad? Of course, there weren't as many Indians abroad as there are now. Or was it with the thought that it's these other religions that we have to serve? I've not really known that before.
Yeah, I think at least I went first time to Singapore, Belgium, Asian countries for conferences. And it was all international conferences. So very few Indians you will see there. And it was so good. I was one of them. So I got chance everywhere to chair the workshops, be representative because there were very few from India. Then of course I was sent, then I came to England, then I was in Canada, USA. And it was not to serve Indians, it was to serve everyone from different religions. And I think somewhere we lost that. I remember in New York when did programs, our programs had lot of people from other groups, Westerners, ethnical
Right.
groups. But I think that there some or other everywhere now Indians are there, and where they don't have, they want them. They feel, because when I went to Chile, so there were some Sindhis and them. So the instrument was saying that one of their qualities, they always walk with something. They will never come to Baba's home without anything. And then one place which I know, they always remember, they say that when they buy something for Baba, you want to pay them, they never take money. But with others, they give you invoice and they say, pay this much.
Yeah.
So I think their relationship with God is different, Their relationship with God was more like give and then I receive, right? Not that all the time. So I think in Yagya, all are required everywhere. In Chile, they feel happy. They have about 3-4 families, from Sindhis and all that.
Yeah.
But they bring in different flavor, and then they have people from Chile, they bring their different flavor. So I
Yeah.
think everywhere, same as in New York, we have people from Caribbean. They, they like to clean, they like to do a lot of karma yoga, but then there are some Indians, they like to bring whatever groceries needed, what food, give list. I was hearing that we have some sisters here, they look at the list on the fridge, what is needed, because generally we put it on the fridge, for students to see, fridge or somewhere, and she just buys everything for Baba. So I think that, but then also some kind of ideas and service. So I think we are uh, multi.
At this time, yeah, for sure, no question. And again, for me, the fact that it was Indian teachers, because I've already been doing hatha yoga for a long time, just it seemed it's authentic if they're from India. But I was wondering about, what had been your discussions beforehand? When did you realize that? Like, hey, these people are really, although they don't have any background in Hinduism, but they're really receptive, to Baba's teaching, and Baba's proving to be the father of the whole world, the father of humanity. And although you've been here for so long now, but you probably know in your experience somewhere, there was some learning that wouldn't have happened if you had remained in India. Now it's a little different because of technology. But when you first came, you didn't have the technology you have now. I was feeling this evening actually getting to talk to you every evening. It's a little bit like going on Google. You put in your question and you get an answer. And so, what difference did coming to the West make for you?
But I think that, I just felt it's a family, I never felt
Mm.
that now I'm in England, I'm in America. But it's family. Anyone who met, everyone is family. So I didn't see
Right, but in terms of
really.
Gyan, in terms of understanding certain things, in terms of,
But yeah, definitely, if I say things the way they understand, they will. But if I tell everyone, Sato Rajo Tamo, right? So what
mm,
will they understand? No, but
yeah,
if it is explained, they will understand. But I find that there is understanding, and sometimes I notice that they understand really exactly very well. Maybe it's the sanskars from the last kalpa, but I had been with anyone from any country you can think of, because even in New York, we have 20 Spanish, they are from 20 countries. Everyone is from different country of Latin America. So I think I feel very happy, and I think maybe we should ask people about us that how they feel from us.
well,
Because what I
I know myself, but what I'm trying to get at is what, like Daddy would always say, how that by being with us, that her intellect started to work in a different way, which if she just been, remained in India, she wouldn't have had to have thought of, because we had questions about Christ, about, whatever our particular religions were, and just things that you would take for granted by being in Bharat, but then you had to think in a different way. So I'm getting more at what, was there anything that kind of surprised you, or you felt, anyway, it's too long ago, you've been here too long.
no,
You're too acclimatized.
I'm just thinking that it is less than the Rijanki, because in Delhi we had people from Christianity, people from
Yeah,
all religions came, and that is why when I came in Gyan, I tried to read everything little bit,
yeah,
not full, so that I have little bit
right,
understanding.
right. You
Even
would
in
have,
even there are so many scriptures of
yeah,
India, so just to
yeah,
know exactly what it is. So
yeah,
yes, definitely. One time the rabbi told me that when you speak to the whole world. So I
yes,
said, "What you mean?" He said, "Because you all live with people of all religions.
yeah,
So you don't talk only for Indians, you talk for
yeah,
everyone, no? Because that difference maybe others notice when we talk in India."
yeah.
Another
Um,
person told me same thing, that when you all talk to the whole world. So,
absolutely, absolutely. That's, yeah,
and when we ask them why they chose us, they say because you all have international.
yeah,
When you speak, you can speak to any people of any religion, anything,
right.
which is
Total
Bharatmai speak.
authority.
So
That's
that
beautiful.
change, yeah, that change is there.
Yeah, I just want to ask one final question. You were talking earlier about sorrow and seeing a situation where someone is reluctant to, have surgery because of the thought of more pain. So in other words, where it's not sorrow in the present, but it's a projection into the future that there's going to be pain, and so they're not taking the steps that would be recommended medically speaking. So what advice can you give?
Mm. But not necessary. My experience is that, I had so many surgeries, but I never had pain. you know, Maybe little bit for a while, but not very. So again, this is kind of a concern no person has, because they are thinking they will cut it, then they will have stitches on. But then the body also has a lot of healing capacity too. And if we keep our mind, with Baba
Yeah.
and with acceptance, and it will be okay. Then you don't suffer, as we
Beautiful.
always say that you go through something, but you're not suffering. And that means through power of yoga, we can reduce our, pain and sorrow and still go through, no? That's what
Beautiful.
I remember we asked Dadi Gulzar or Dadi Prakashmani, and they were putting something through the throat, and I was there nearby. Dadi, is it hurting? No. Is it hurting? No. So that means they were not suffering
Yeah.
physically. That means karmas have to be settled, but it can be settled with power of yoga. Externally, it is happening, but they won't be suffering.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
That's
Thank you
what
so
I can say, and I will advise everyone to just remember Baba. Take that healing power,
Yeah.
so that Lord can be healed also.
Yeah.
But if people ask why you all have to go through, well, definitely whatever externally has to be separate, has to be settled. But at least our face, our voice, our, everything is okay, right?
Yeah. And through that, even Baba is glorified because we see you and we see, that you don't present as a patient or in sorrow or suffering. And so it's like another way of revealing Baba.
And because we don't want people to know more.
That's right.
So, we keep saying,
Yeah.
she's not available for 3 days. She's not
Yeah.
available, and it's true because also you are doing something else. But we don't
Yeah.
want also people, their intellect to go towards the body, right?
Yeah.
So if they
That's the
see at
question
least,
for tomorrow: privacy and secrecy. The difference. All right, I think I've overshot by a few minutes. Thank you so much, Mohini Didi. Fruit. So today I practice the golden age sanskara of dancing in happiness by being as light as a deity. Om Shanti.
Was wonderful chit chat. We all went to Golden Age and saw the flowers and colors and dresses and everything. Thank you, Didi and Sister Body. That was wonderful chit chat. So, are we all ready? Welcome to a